Hi, it's nice to see you all here. Thank you for joining me. If I may, I'd like to introduce you. I'll start with Abdullah at the end. How are you? If you could introduce yourself, please.
Thank you so much, Stefan. My name is Abdullah Muslemani, and I am the CEO of KEANE and Company, a hospitality management company in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Nicolas Budzynski. I'm the Global Operation Director of LPM Restaurant. Very happy to be here today.
Assalamu alaikum. Hi, everyone. Mayada Badr, the CEO of the Culinary Arts Commission with the Ministry of Culture.
Thank you very much, guys. I'll start with you, Mayada. There has been a notable increase in high-end dining in Riyadh in Germany, particularly very high-profile openings. Do you think, what's the ambition for the nation, do you think, in terms of high-end dining? How high can we go? Is there a city internationally that you know of that you think, yeah, let's be like that city? What do you think?
Honestly, I'm impressed with the amount of high-end dining that have been opening up in the past, almost 3 years. And it makes my life a lot easier when you have this private sector that's kind of pushing for it. So I definitely want to give a round of applause to everyone who's been working in the private sector, who's been passionate about the culinary arts and are getting these amazing mentors for the Saudis to actually open up here and change the landscape of the culinary arts for the kingdom. When it comes to comparing us to any other country, I would not compare us to any country, obviously, because we've been codifying the Saudi cuisine around the kingdom, and we have an amazing heritage of culinary arts recipes, ingredients. And I ask you all that when you come to Saudi or when you bring these brands, international brands, let us give them a culinary tour across the kingdom. Let us provide that service. We want to inspire them. We want to change the landscape so that La Petite Maison, when they actually come here, it's a bit different than the one, because you get inspired by the landscape. We want to show you the ingredients that you can't find anywhere else in the world. And for chefs, and I'm a chef as well, so it's like our little kind of painting tools that you want to create, you want to inspire. And we definitely want to do a lot more Saudi menu integration with them. And I think that's going to make Saudi unique, our culture, our heritage.
So you're plotting your own paths rather than copying in a major city.
I think we have such a huge heritage that we don't want to copy, so we want them to get inspired. And I think because we're different from other cities with, I guess, less culinary heritage, that they might not be able to grasp that. We want to make sure that we are using what we have. We are empowering the Saudi youth. And you can find talent everywhere. I've been across the country. So many young Saudis, and even the older ones who are doctors, lawyers, businessmen, are starting to go into the culinary arts. And it's amazing to see that passion and what they can create. So I definitely believe it's going to be a different landscape than other countries. And it's going to be something they want to come into.
Proud French, you're going to say Paris, right?
Not really. I mean, I think if we look at the landscape of Saudi Arabia today, the inspiration on short term will be very much from London or maybe Los Angeles or New York in terms of brands. But as you rightly said, I think the long term will be for Saudi to build his own landscape, own brand, own creativity. And we just heard from Mohammed just before. I mean, there is a lot of passion behind food and hospitality in Saudi Arabia, and I think the future will be very much different and unique compared to any other city.
You're the first high-end operator on the stage today, so give us a feel for how busy you are at LPM.
Yeah, it's been interesting discovery of the Saudi market, and we're very humbled by the warm welcoming we've received. I think we also opened at the time of the pandemic, where we were the very first high-end restaurant to open before the market reopened. So we had a lot of love. I think everybody was very happy to see us. We're still very busy today, so we're able to continue to grow our business, and we hope to do it in a sustainable way in the future.
You tell me on the phone someone tried to book your office desk to eat at. You were so busy there.
Yeah, we have a funny story where, actually we have the recording. We should have prepared it for today. But a guest was, so happy to come that they wanted to eat in the office of the reservationist team. So that's how much they wanted to have a table. I mean, anyway, it's been interesting discoveries. Yeah.
Thank you. Abdullah, you're at the cutting edge of entrepreneurialism, right? Day to day in your business. What do you think? What city would you think the nation aspires to?
I would personally agree with both Mayada and Nicolas because I do believe that Saudi is special in its own sense when it comes to what we're curating today. But I also believe that we're very similar to London, New York City, and maybe LA as well.
Right. Happy to hear London. As a proud Londoner, I saw that London was terrible in the 80s. It got slightly better in the 90s, and suddenly got particularly good. And we owe it to the immigrant community, actually, in London for that. But I've seen that change. I'm very excited to be in this country at the same point in time. So, Mayada, is it going to be, the next 5 years, will it be more brands? Because there's a lot of brands popping up from international. Or do you think that local entrepreneurs will be tempted to move, they are now reactive, coffee, quick service, casual, will they move up into high-end, do you think?
I think you do have some like top brands that do want to create their own restaurant, high-end brands, and they are getting inspired, they are gaining the knowledge. And I think what Mohammed Jaw was saying about competition, competition is amazing with regards to the F&B. It makes you step up. So now we're seeing a lot of young Saudi chefs, trying to not copy but mimic other, high-end restaurants, and that's how you start competing with each other and become creative. Because if we just, if LPM just says, okay, I'm LPM and I'm going to stop here, they're not going to involve. But if you get more competitions for LPM, then LPM keeps setting the bar higher and higher, and that's where we want to see them. We always want the restaurants, when you come back to it, it actually impresses you even more, or you remember it differently, and you're inspired. And I think these restaurants are going to inspire the Saudi chefs because they're all eating in them now. And they're seeing the standards, and they're seeing what can be done in Saudi, and there's no more excuses. You don't have any Saudi chefs saying, oh no, but because I can't import certain products, or no, because I'm not going to be able to get things. No, they're doing it. LPM's doing it. A lot of other restaurants are doing it, and I think that's what's inspiring them.
You've had this wonderful database of chefs, culinarians, the qualifications, the bloggers as well, and you're keen to maintain that database.
No, I think we're definitely, I think one of our biggest passion projects is what we started last year, and we're starting to codify, so document the Saudi heritage recipes, ingredients, folklores, and that's going to be in a kind of 13-book series, so one for each region. We're also going to introduce food tours for every region. We're going to make you meet these people. We're going to have a lot of documentary series so you can actually physically see the chefs, see the cooks, and we're talking about the street food of Saudi. So the beating heart of Saudi, which inspires mostly chefs and everyone to come. And that increases food tourism in the kingdom. So it's not just the high end, which is great, but it's also the street food scene. You need all kind of value chains. And I think when that happens and when you can have these houses open up to people, there's some regions in Saudi that hotels weren't being opened or restaurants because that little town kept on saying no, and they would close them down, and they would tell them that no, our houses are open to everyone. The restaurants are our kitchens. Anyone who comes, any tourist who comes in our town will be greeted with a room, with a meal. And that was a Saudi hospitality. That's like the birthplace of why, you talk about the Saudi hospitality. And now we're opening up the country, which is amazing with Vision 2030. And now we're just excited to share that, I think, more than ever. So you go to these tiny towns, and they're just excited to show you how they cook things, and they're excited to make you try things. And I'm a Saudi, and I've tried dishes I've never even heard of. And I was impressed by a lot of different, ingredients. And I was like, this is an amazing gold mine to be shared. And we are going to publish all of these findings.
Very exciting. Nicolas, do you think there'll be more international brands or developing local brands?
I think, as I said, short-term international brands, long-term local brands, and just a thought that just came into my mind right now. In terms of inspirational cities, I think Saudi might be very similar to Hong Kong in the future, where not many international brands have developed and more local brands because of the entrepreneurship approach of the community. Yeah.
So you think there'll be a blend of the two, and maybe some of your staff will leave you, forgive me, and become entrepreneurs themselves.
Yeah. Hopefully for them. Yeah.
Abdullah, how do you feel about that perspective, international versus local?
I'm 100% going towards local. We truly believe that there is a huge space curating local Saudi brands that would be able to compete with the likes of LPM and the fine dining concepts that are coming in from across the universe. So the only thing that I believe that we need to maybe intensify is, as Mayada indicated, the development of the young culinary part of the business when it comes to Saudi chefs, empowering them, giving them the right ingredients and tools for them to be able to express their magic in the kitchen.
Right, so exploring that a little bit, but what do you think is stopping them doing that now?
I do believe that it's happening, but it's not as happening as intense as how the business of hospitality is rapidly increasing in Saudi, especially going towards tourism, going towards what's happening in Vision 2030, of course. There are many things that are happening towards going into the culinary education. We've actually had a couple of meetings with different educational institutes which would be able to provide these educational services in order for us to be able to develop future leaders in this industry.
Can you tell us about that job fair in Dubai? What were you doing there?
Absolutely. We actually had a huge job fair where this is actually the methodology that Crown & Company uses for recruitment, is opening a hall like this and inviting calibers from the country to come in and automatically apply for specific jobs, going through a certain caliber of 4-stage interviews and then receiving job offers on the day, which has proved a very powerful tool for us in terms of recruiting the young Saudi talents that are available to start immediately, passionate, with a great attitude, that want to be able to be a part of this growing industry.
Sorry, I just have a question. So you were in a job fair in Dubai and you were recruiting Saudis?
No, for Saudi, we do the job fair here.
Okay,
but,
I was just making sure.
Stefan asked me about the one in Dubai. Yeah, so we've done one in Al-Ula. We've done a job fair there where we hired approximately 60 employees that are currently working in Habitas Al-Ula. We've also done one, or actually a few here in the city of Riyadh, done a couple in Jeddah as well, and we've really found that recruiting through this methodology really gives the Saudi young talent the chance to come in and raise their hand and say, we're passionate. We want to be a part of this industry, and it's really been proven that, alhamdulillah, it's a great methodology for us, especially in hospitality.
Just to summarise, as Mayada says, you took people from Dubai, talent from there, and did in one day. It shows the appeal of working here now. Who would have thought? Incredible change. Nicolas, we're painting a very attractive picture of the future. What do you think needs to change or improve to bring that future forward a bit, make it easier perhaps for the market to grow?
Yeah, I think all the actors of the industry have to maybe discuss a bit more together, from the brand to the local investors to government entities, just to be able to build a roadmap on what are the current challenges and what are the opportunities to improve the market. I mean, from our experience at the moment, we scratch our head on how to improve our recruitment methodology. How are we able to retain our talent, because the competition is fierce, and as of today on an international scene, the Saudi market is still a discovery for a lot of candidates. And then from a local market point of view, young Saudis are also in a discovery stage about the hospitality in general. So we have a gap to fill, and we need to work all together to be able to identify the opportunities to make it easier. So one would be the workforce, I think we really need to focus on. And the second would be more on the products. How are we able to elevate the quality of food, the quality of product, to allow young chefs or international brands to deliver the right quality of food and make Riyadh and Saudi Arabia the best culinary scene that is possible. And today, we also face difficulty due to the international issues with logistic and how to import the right products into the country. So, and understanding where to source the right product from within the country. I think it's also a lack of knowledge for international brands that, yeah, we need a bit more support on that. Yeah.
So this is where you come and you see me.
Yeah.
No, because we are working on the culinary landscape of the kingdom. So we are mapping the education, we are mapping the training. We're also mapping this value chain where you're saying importation. So we do have international companies that we want to bring in. We do have the supply chain with the farmers and everything that we want to fix. So we will set up a lot more meetings with all of you with regards to explaining the new value chain, what can we introduce, and also if there's any issues that you want to raise. I'd ask anyone in the F&B industry to come to the Culinary Arts Commission, tell us the issues, tell us the problems. It might be something we're currently working on, so we can give you clarity on that. And if it's not, then we'd love to include it into our strategy as well.
Well, the Culinary Arts Commission is in a very unique position in my ideas in the industry. I've never heard of government official able to help the industry this much. We've had reactive governments in the past, but it is extraordinary. The Culinary Arts Commission, the Ministry of Culture, driving the industry forward from the top. That's just a marvelous thing. Thank you, Mayada. Thank you, guys. I wonder if we have time for questions. I'm not sure. That's a big number. But, thank you very much. Thanks for the panelists.